2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, this is Debbie Zelli reporting for WGLH-TV. Back to school not only means the beginning of back-to-school things like homework and classes, but it also means the beginning of extracurricular activities. Today in the studio with me I have Shelly Tillery, who is a cheerleader, a member of the newspaper staff, and also a member of the marching band. Welcome, Shelly, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Why don't you start by telling us what classes you're taking this year?
This year I'm taking Student Council, Advanced Placement, American History, Algebra 2, British Lit. I'm taking Journalism and Television and Band.
Sounds like you have some pretty tough classes there. How much time do you spend doing homework?
I spend relatively about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, why don't you tell us some more about your extracurricular activities?
Some of the activities I'm involved in is cheerleading. Cheerleading takes up a lot of time. We have an hour and a half of practice every day except on Fridays. Friday evenings we have games. I cheer reserves, so therefore I cheer the first quarter, first half of the varsity game. Then on Saturday mornings I have games from 10 until relatively 12 noon. And I'm also involved in band, and in band we have practices during the school day. Then on Thursday evenings we have practice from 6:15 until around 8:30, I'd say. And then again on Friday nights and some other activities besides just the regular marching at the games.
What about the newspaper? What type of role do you play there?
In the newspaper I'm a reporter, and I have 2 beats I have to cover. That's the state legislature, and I also cover the volleyball team. I also do several different articles depending on whichever I'm assigned to. Like I just finished doing one on sports injuries, and then I'm planning on doing another one on some new teachers in the high school.
So with all this time that you spend practicing and doing your extracurricular activities and your homework, doesn't that make it kind of tough to balance it all?
It's hard, but I manage it.
Does it, sorry.
Go ahead.
Does it cut on your social life too?
My activities are my social life, basically. I have a lot of friends, especially in band, and then in my other classes, and so that socializing is there, as well as like on Saturday nights I sometimes go out, and Sundays.
Do you have any advice for anyone else who has a tough schedule like yours?
Just manage your time really well, and go for whatever you like to do. Don't stop at mediocre. If you're going to do something, be the best that you can when you're doing it.
Okay, well thank you for being with us today, Shelly. So as you can see, back to school doesn't just mean books. There's a lot more to it. This has been Debbie Zelli reporting for WGLH-TV.
Very good. Stand by. Who's going out first?
You.
Hello, this is Stephanie White with WGLH's one and only talk show, Shop Talk. Today I'm here with Debbie Zelli, who is co-owner and co-founder of Polly's Parrot Palace. Ms. Zelli, you've been in this business, what, 5 years now? Why did you decide to specialize?
Well, I thought parrots were really pretty and they were kind of something unusual. Personally, I like to use them in my home to brighten up things, and sometimes I like to wear them with certain outfits that I can coordinate with the parrots and things like that. They're kind of an attention getter.
Well, is there any kind of market for parrots? I mean, how big is the market?
Well, originally our shop we had just a very large shop here in Gahanna, but there wasn't much of a market in Gahanna, so I had to expand and open one in Columbus also.
It's interesting.
Go ahead.
How much would a parrot cost?
Oh, well, they run anywhere. It depends what stage you want them in. A very young one that you could even hatch in an incubator at home could start at just a few dollars, and they can range into the hundreds.
That's interesting. Well, that was Debbie Zelli for Polly's Parrot Palace. And this has been Stephanie White for WGLH-TV.
That's it. Okay.
What do you feel about abortion? Are you totally against it, or do you think you should be free to choose? Today we have Charlotte Libb, a pro-choice activist, who will give her views on abortion. Charlotte, you've written many articles on abortion. How did you get involved?
I think when I first got involved, I started out as a child psychiatrist, and I noticed that there was she was a young lady who came to me. She was about 14 years old, well, about 14, 15, and she was pregnant, and it's a long story, but to make it short, she had problems at home dealing with her stepmother and her father, who were very much pro-life and were going to make her have the baby, whereas her mother was more for what she wanted in her life.
Do you think the teenagers that go to the abortion clinics are told enough so that they know about abortions?
I think for a teenager to go to an abortion clinic, then yeah, I think they do know. But there are differences. I mean, there are always going to be different cases, and some do and some don't, but I think a majority of them do know.
How do they decide if a baby is too old to be aborted?
That's one of the problems that is being discussed right now. The pro-life, they argue that they use quotes from the Bible that are generally taken out of context. And they use those, and to them, in their belief, it is when the egg and the sperm meet that it's a human being, it's a life automatically. Whereas in biology class, we are taught that through the division of cells, and it's hard. There are several differences, and we have to keep in mind that not everybody believes in the same religion.
Okay, well, thanks for being on our show today, Charlotte. Abortion is never something that can be taken lightly, especially in the wake of such controversy as we've had a sample of today. This has been Tracy Starr for WGLH-TV.
Get rid of this? I don't really need.
Stand by.
Which camera?
I think you guys need to learn, Tracy, your camera.
What camera? No light is on.
Okay.
Hello, this is Valita Johnson reporting for WGLH-TV. And here today in our studio, we have a unique individual who is by far the most unique individual I've seen. He, in his being unique, lives off the land, and we like to ask him a couple of questions. Hello, John. This is John Richards. I understand that you pretty much, like I said, live off the land. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, yes. Well, right when I got out of high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know which direction that my life was going. And I was always in love with nature. So I thought that I would take, maybe 6 months and go out to a cabin we had up in Colorado. And I was there that 6 months, and I just grew to love it. And I decided to stay and not get in the rat race of the everyday life.
Now, don't you find it hard with all the modern ways of life and all the mass confusion? I mean, at times it can be confusing, but at times it can't, And a lot of things are needed to live by, let alone, needed just for personal usage.
Well, I look to our forefathers, who for thousands and thousands of years have lived off of nothing, with nothing, at peace and harmony. And that's just what I'm going for. I've lived 10 years without anything, just living off of what God provides for me in the earth, and I've done really well. I haven't had any stress or heart attacks. All I have to do is worry about getting my food and my clothing and just my essential needs in life.
Now, what kind of care would you take for, like, the common cold?
Well, if you take care of yourself, you don't have a problem with the common cold. I've never had a cold in the 10 years I've lived out there just because I've been careful. I don't go in and out from cold without taking time to bundle up and take care of myself.
Now, I understand you have 2 children and a wife.
That's correct.
Okay, now how did were they always pro-nature, such as you were? Or
yes, they were. That's how me and my wife met. We were out in the mountains, and we're teaching the ideas to our children but we don't hinder them from coming into the city and getting to see, you know, what goes on in the city, and they're just almost the age for schooling, so we'll be sending them to school and letting them have an idea of both lives.
Okay, so you do promote further education as far as city life is
Of course.
concerned. But would you like your children to also follow the steps that you follow?
It's their choice.
Okay, this has been Valita Johnson reporting for WGLH-TV. A camera.
Roll days. Stand by.
Hi, this is Trisha Stanson for WGLH-TV. Today I have with me Valita Johnson, a well-known teen actress who has been in several hit movies. Hi, Valita.
Hi, Trisha.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. The viewers really want to know, and so do I, how did you get started in your acting career, and at what age?
Well, I started when I was 5 years old, and I was in a baby powder commercial, you know, the ones where they show just the behind. And my mom entered me in a contest, and she herself used to be an actress, so she felt that she wanted me to follow the pattern, so I guess that's how I got started.
Who inspired you?
Well, I really didn't have any inspirations besides my mother, but I always liked to watch TV, you know, and I really admired those who were able to get in front of the camera and, you know, project different types of personalities and people.
Okay, now you're 17 years old and you'll soon be graduating from high school. Do you want to go on to college and major, or would you like to stay with your career?
Well, I'm thinking about doing both of them because I really enjoy the, you know, the acting, but it takes a lot out of you, and I'd really like to have something to fall back on, provided, you know, something later on down the line, you know, happened, and I wasn't able to act anymore. So.
Okay, what would that be?
I want to be a psychologist because I really like dealing with the mind and understanding how people think and how they feel about and how they behave about things.
Okay, your last movie you were in, The New York. Could you explain your character?
Well, I was playing a street kid who grew up on the rough side of the town, and you know, with no influences that would help me to be a better person, you know. And then I had a cop by the name of Jimmy Dean, I think he played that, and he was like my influence and you know, trying to teach me how to be a better person.
Yeah.
So
who do you look up to as a star now? Who would you like to meet, or who do you look up to as a role model?
Like I said, you know, my mother was really my role model, but I would be glad to meet anybody who wanted to meet me.
Okay, here we have it, Valita Johnson. She will be continuing on her career or going on to college. We'll see later on in life. This has been Trisha Stanson reporting for WGLH-TV.
The New York.
Stand by.
Hello, this is Amy Wallace with Noon Edition, and today with us we have Gertrude Davis, who is the owner of Gertie's Fashions in New York City. Hello, how are you today?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Okay. First off, how did you get interested in the jewelry and the fashions?
Well, when I was little, I always liked to try to look my best all the time, and I found that with jewelry and fashion, you could do a lot. So that's how I got interested in it.
Were you any kind of a trendsetter when you were in school, like in high school or anything?
I guess you could say I was. I like to be my own personal being. I didn't like to try and, you know, act like somebody else or look like somebody else, and I guess you could kind of say I was, yes.
Okay, with us we have, I guess, some jewelry you brought with us.
Yes.
All right. Now, are these what are the new trend, or what's coming in, or are these your own designs?
Actually, these are the old trend that have gone out, but yet are coming back in. These are some nice earrings. They're blue, and I have a necklace to match in my shop at home. I didn't have enough room to bring it, but yes, I did bring the earrings.
And I noticed these are clip-ons. Clip-ons are back, right?
Yes, clip-ons are back. Most people are either afraid to get their ears pierced or just don't have the time, and the clip-ons are easier to use.
Okay, now what about the rhinestones? I see we have some rhinestones here. Now what about these? Now these used to be in fashion in what, the 20s? Now are these coming back also?
Yes, these are also coming back. All the old styles I see are coming back. I used to have these just in a case. As you see, I like to go down in time with my jewelry in a case at the store. But then a lady came in and asked me if she could buy them, and then other people started coming in, so I just decided to go ahead and start selling it.
Okay, now some of this stuff looks like things you can find in your great-grandmother's or your grandmother's jewelry box. Now, can you use some of that, or is that like out of style and it's like, oh?
Oh no, anything you can find to use, you can use, yes. If you go up in the attic and you find something that kind of looks a little strange, you can use it.
Okay, well thank you very much, and thanks for being with us here today, and I hope you can come back soon. This has been Amy Wallace with Gertrude Davis for WGLH-TV Noon Show.
School trend. Such students that were interviewed was countdown. Or do you want me to look at this camera when I do my opening thing?
Yeah, ready? Stand by. Are you rolling? Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My name is Gwen Barker. Every time you fly the friendly skies, there's a special person that puts your life in his hands. Please welcome the president of Airline Safety, Mr. Pilot. Welcome.
Thank you.
What first got you interested in airline safety?
Well, I started when I got right out of high school. I went into the Air Force, and over a 10-year period I became a pilot. And when I finally had enough airtime, I left the service and got into the secular flying and being a pilot. And I had a couple close calls. And that's when I started to work at the bottom of the safety level and just started working my way up.
Oh, so you've had lots of experience.
Yes, I have. 10 years in the service, 10 years of flying commercial airlines, and then 5 years of president.
Okay, the world's largest transportation magazine has recently stated that airline safety is becoming increasingly dangerous. Do you agree?
Well, I think it depends on the company, because there's been some companies, like 50% of the problems have occurred in 3 different companies, who I won't take the liberty of talking about, but that's not fair to all the other airlines that are out there. You know, sure, there's going to be problems. There's problems on the highways and everything. There's going to be problems.
Okay, have you ever had to make the decision yourself to delay an airplane?
Yes, many times. People complain about it, but it'll save their life.
So the passengers really don't enjoy it, even though you are taking provisions to save their lives?
That's right, but there's just some things you have to do for people's safety, because they wouldn't like it if we got in an accident either.
Well, there you have it, folks. The next time you fly the friendly skies, I hope you'll remember this interview and the way that the president of Airline Safety took your lives to make them more safer. This has been Gwen Barker reporting for WGLH-TV.
That was good.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to Tillery's Talk Show. Today we have a special guest on our show. He is Gahanna Lincoln's first homecoming queen. Yes, he, although they did change the name to Homecoming Royalist. Let's give a warm round of applause to Mr. Neil Smith. Neil, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Well, this is very interesting, you being the first male to be elected to the homecoming court. How do your friends feel about this?
I was really surprised because, you know, they pass out the ballots, you know, in the homeroom, and I was sitting there, and all these people, you know, they decided that I was just totally gorgeous, and they decided that they'd put me on the ballot. And I was really surprised because, I mean, you know, I didn't want to wear the dress and the crown and everything and carry the risk. But anyway, so they nominated me. We just considered it a joke, but then when I was a finalist, it started getting serious.
Well, that is very interesting. How do you feel being the only male on the court? Is it embarrassing, or?
Oh, it's kind of embarrassing wearing the gown, but I figure, you know, if people want to see me like that, I guess that's the way it be. It doesn't make me feel any less masculine or anything, but it's a little strange.
So you really are going to wear the gown in front of all of those people?
Yep, my mom helped me pick out one. It's this pretty blue one with red and big flowers.
That is very nice. Well, Neil, I was also wondering, you're in this group, Brothers Ho. You're in the group Brothers Ho,
Yes,
I see.
I am.
And were those your friends that elected you to the court?
Yeah, some of those elected me to the court too, but there was a lot of other people also.
Well, that is very nice. Well, here you have it, Mr. Neil Smith. He is Gahanna's first homecoming royalist, so you'll probably see him at the dance or any other engagements at the high school. Well, hope to see you next week on Tillery's Talk Show.
I'm so sorry.
Neil, don't laugh. You made me laugh. You made me laugh. What if I get points taken off because you made me laugh?
One, two, three, 4, 5. Hello, my name is Mark Mast, and I'm here to continue on with our International Week. And today we have a special guest. We have Juan Alvarez. Juan Alvarez is an exchange student to Gahanna Lincoln. And today we're going to take the opportunity to talk to Juan about his experiences here and what it was like at home and what it was like leaving home. Hi, Juan.
Hello.
Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
Tell me, what do you think about America? What do you think about Gahanna Lincoln High School?
It's so big. I'm used to small schools and stuff, and I come here and there's all kinds of people, and I like the teachers.
Do you like all the students and everything?
Most of the students seem very nice, but I don't understand these students with the long hair. I've never seen guys with long hair like down to here and stuff.
So in Spain, they don't have long hair.
No, everybody cuts their hair fairly short.
Is the dress a lot different here than it is in Spain?
Somewhat. There's like new things I've never seen before, like the girls wearing colored socks and stuff, but other than that, dress basically the same.
Dress basically the same. What's the biggest difference between Spain and America?
Well, in Spain, you're allowed to drink at any age because it's our custom, but here you have to be, I don't know, 19?
21.
21. So when I came here, I just drank because it doesn't, because I just do it, and I got in trouble because of it, and I just don't understand.
Don't understand. Well, thank you, Juan. This has been Juan Alvarez, a special interview to get to know a little bit better about a student who gave up his year at home to come and be with us. We'll be interviewing a few other students. We have Yacht from Sweden, and we have Mark from London, and they'll be on the next couple shows. So why don't you come on back the next couple days and show your true American spirit and welcome these foreign exchange students. This has been Mark Mass reporting. Thank you.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, this is Neil Smith with WGLH, and this is the talk show. Hi, today I have with me Mrs. Fred Reichert, commonly known as Gwen Reichert. So how are you today, Gwen?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm glad you came out to have this interview with me today.
Well, it's a pleasure being here.
Okay, I have a few questions for you. So what do you think about your husband's phenomenal success?
Well, I think it's great. It's helped us in financial matters. I mean, we now have 4 and 5 cars. Every day we change cars. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems like it is, but do you get kind of upset when people make fun of your husband because he takes older songs or newer songs and he changes around to make them fit his dealership?
The whole idea of those songs are to get people to go to his car dealership. If you don't go, we don't survive.
That's true.
So we'd rather for you laugh than to be discouraged.
How did you and Mr. Reichert meet?
We lived right down the street from each other.
I see.
And our parents were very good friends, and so we got kind of put together by our parents, and we fell in love and got married.
So what is your favorite Ford car?
I like the Mustangs.
You like the
Mustangs?
Yeah. Does your husband sell a lot of those?
Mustangs are surprisingly the fastest selling cars.
Yeah, it seems to be a popular model with the younger generation.
The convertibles especially.
Yes. Well, this has been Neil Smith reporting for WGLH with the talk show. Thanks, and have a good evening.
Lots of schools are having a problem where the parents will refuse to let their kids go to school because of the virus.
Stand by. Ready to do it? Do it.
Good afternoon. Today on Sports Beat, I'm with Mark Smith, the next American hopeful for weightlifting. Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
What's your goal in the '88 Olympics?
To bring home the gold. That's what I want to do.
Is the training for weightlifting very rigorous, or?
Yes, it is. We usually work about, we try to work at least 5 hours a day, which is hard with weights because you can really only go at about a 2-hour time span. So we go 2 hours on weights, then we take a couple hours off, then we go 3 more hours on weights, and then we do other forms of exercise because it's important to be, you know, conditioned well, like in running and that kind of stuff too.
What type of other conditioning do you use? Swimming or?
A lot of swimming, bike riding, kind of hard to run, but we do a lot of swimming and bike riding.
What's your record, personal record?
My personal record, well, I've been lifting weights ever since started high school. I got in an organization with the YMCA, and then I went, I kept going in high school, but I really started my competition in college, and I've gone undefeated.
What college did you go to?
UCLA.
Okay, thank you. That's it for Sports Beat. See you next time. Adios.
Are you set, Neil? Do you have your establishment job?
Okay, we're getting ready to do it.
Stand by.
Good evening. My name is Billy Jo Washburn, and this is Newswatch. In the news today, there is a situation dealing with part-time workers. It appears that all the part-time workers in Ohio have gone on strike at the same time. With me today is Stephanie White, the leader of this strike. So, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And
Good.
yourself?
I'm just fine. Could you tell me how this strike came about?
Well, part-time workers usually work on commission, but we feel that since it's only part-time work, we need a definite salary, especially people working at part-time agencies. They only work on commission, and if they don't work, they don't get paid. And a lot of people are raising families, and they need the money, and they need the benefits, and they aren't getting them because there aren't people that need temporary help.
So what is your, or all of your, idea of an ideal wage?
Well, since we do have a commission when we do work, it doesn't really have to be that much. I mean, we aren't asking for very much. We're just asking for a salary, for a actual salary of maybe $5 or $6 per hour plus commissions.
Okay. How close do you feel these discussions are getting to solving the problem?
Well, they're getting close. A lot of businesses have started to complain because there are no part-time helpers anymore, and so negotiations are going in our way, and they are beginning to deal with salaries and other benefits, and I think we can win.
Okay. So, as you can see, the outlook for the part-time help in Ohio looks good. This has been Billy Jo Washburn reporting for WGLH-TV.
Oh, I know. I would tell my people to walk and keep walking. I would just go hire more new people.
I said plus commissions, so I don't care. I just made up.
Okay, let's power down the cameras, please, and put away the audio cords and microphones.
You like Rush?
I just
Yeah, I do.
I know.
a chance to talk to Mrs. Kalman about the class. When I spoke to Mrs. Kalman, she said that there were about 50 regulars that come every week. She told me that the class is open to teachers, bus drivers, kitchen workers, and anyone who is employed by Gahanna in the school district. When I asked Mrs. Kalman to tell me how exactly the class is going, she said, "It's a lot of fun. This aerobics class is different than a normal class at a health club because you interact with other people more, and that is, of course, because all the aerobic participants work together." One, two, three, four, five. So with the ongoing interest that this aerobic class has had, we here at WGLH are sure that'll be a great success. This has been Dan Sherman for WGLH. Now back to the studio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with the ongoing interest that the aerobic class has had, we here at WGLH are sure it'll be a great success. This has been Dan Sherman for WGLH. Now back to our studio.
You didn't need footage.
Take one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, this is Robin White for WGLH-TV. I'm here with 8th grade Shelly Mullet. She is a wrestler at Gahanna West. Shelly, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling for 2 years.
How do you like this sport?
It's fun, it's new.
What is your record?
My record is 3-7. I've had a decision, a forfeit, and a pin.
Do you feel wrestling against a male opponent, do they go easier on you or harder to win? Or tell me a little bit what you think.
Well, I think they'd probably want to go a little harder on me because I don't want to go through the humiliation of losing against a girl and just having all the teasing.
What got you interested in this sport?
Well, really, actually, a few of us, other girls, we thought it'd be neat and fun to do, so we got together and came out to the team and joined the guys.
What happened to the other girls?
The other girls, they just dropped off, and I stayed and did everything the guys did.
What are some of the unusual circumstances that you've gone through during your season?
Well, I've had to get my hair cut when I wrestled, and other than that, that's the only thing that really bothered me. Besides.
Tell me a little bit about it, about getting your hair cut.
Well, we went to a match in Worthington Perry, and the coach said that I had to get my hair cut, so me and my coach, we went back to the locker room, and he cut about 5 inches off my hair, and after that, you know, I went out and I wrestled, and I beat my opponent, and it was fun.
Great. How are you treated by the other members of the team?
Well, they all give me their support, and they all treat me fair, and they don't mind me being on the team.
Do you plan to wrestle in high school?
Yes, I do. I think it's a fun sport to do, and it's an opportunity for me to go out and show these guys that a girl can do what a guy can do.
Well, good luck. Just cut it. We're here with Coach Pavel, Shelly's wrestling coach. We're here with Coach Pavel, Shelly's wrestling coach. Is she your first female wrestler that you've coached?
Yes, I've been coaching about 8 years, and she's the first.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're here with Coach Pavel, Shelly's wrestling coach. Is she your first female wrestler that you've coached?
Yes, she's the first one that's ever stayed on the team. And I've been coaching about 8 years, and it's been my first experience in that I had 3 girls come out last year when Shelly was a 7th grader, and in the rigorous conditioning that's required to become a wrestler, the other 2 couldn't manage to stick it out. But Shelly has a dedication and a desire that really allowed her to be able to stick it out and eventually earn a starting spot on the team.
Do you feel coaching her,
you take it easier, that you're easier on her or harder on her?
Well, at first, I did probably treat her a little bit more with kid gloves in that I didn't know what to expect from a female, you know, being able to wrestle. And after I allowed her to gain some conditioning so that she could withstand some of the punishment that she was going to be put through, I found that it was a lot different coaching a girl than it is a guy. She puts up with a lot of pain and a lot of pressure, but she's a defensive wrestler. And being a defensive wrestler, that means that she has to look for loopholes and ways out of situations that she's in. It's tough for her to overpower an opponent. And she's done a pretty good job for me this year.
Do you feel maybe that she has opened some doors for women's wrestling?
Well, I know that she's shown some light on wrestling in that there's been a lot more publicity, and they have written it up in the local newspapers and local television stations. And I know for a fact, as a result of us going up to Mount Vernon and having a female on the team, this year the coach came back and told me that as a result of that, he had 3 girls on the team, but he only had 1 that has stuck it out so far.
Well, thank you very much. Being a girl?
Certainly, of course. At first, I didn't know what to expect, didn't know what females were capable of putting up with, and the type of rigorous conditioning, I often, turned my back or allowed her to have an extra rest where the boys didn't get that rest. And I admit that it was a little bit double standard at first, but then I didn't know what to expect. And then after a while, I realized that after she got in shape, she could put up with all the punishment that the other boys were taking, as well as learn to dish it out.
Wrestling against a guy, do they want to wrestle harder, or do they take it easier on you because they don't want to hurt you?
Well, I think they might tend to wrestle a little bit harder, so they won't have to go through all the suffering of everybody teasing them and making fun of him because he lost to a girl, and just having the thought that a girl beating might put him through a lot of pressure.
Look out, said Danny. Oh, wow, said a dog, running after them. He thinks you're a car, said Danny. Go away, dog. We're not a car. The dinosaur has to be very careful not to knock over houses or stores with his long tail. Some people were waiting for a bus. They rode on the dinosaur's tail instead. Lots of fun. It's good to take an hour or 2 off after 100 million years, said the dinosaur. They even looked at a ball game. Who needs a boat? I can swim, said the dinosaur. Toot toot went the boats. Toot toot went Danny and the dinosaur. Oh, what lovely green grass, said the dinosaur. I haven't eaten any of that for a very long time. Let's go to the zoo and see the animals, said Danny. Everybody came running to see the dinosaur. Nobody stayed to see the lion. Nobody stayed to see the elephant. Nobody stayed to see the monkey. And nobody get looked at, said the zoo man. Let's find my friend, said Danny. Very well, said the dinosaur. Danny riding on a dinosaur, said one of the children. Maybe he'll think I'd be delighted, said the dinosaur. Hold on tight, said Danny. Said the children. How do you play that? Asked the dinosaur. We hide and you try to find us, said Danny. The dinosaur covered his eyes. The dinosaur hid behind the house. The children found him. He hid behind the dinosaur, and the children cried, hooray, hooray. It got late, and the other children left. Danny and the dinosaur were alone. Well, goodbye, Danny, the dinosaur. Can't you come and stay with me? Said Danny. We could have lots of fun. No, said the dinosaur. I've had a good... Oh, well, thought Danny. We don't have room for a pet that size anyway. But we did have a wonderful day.
food front. Now what does that mean, Winterfield? We knew it meant something, but being bare of little brain, he had to think and think. Ah, yes, that was it. It was time for a stoutness exercise. Up, down, Winterfield. Coming a little. You would have to go out and find some. He said, Pooh went out walking and came to us needs bank, Pooh. No, said the voice. Father, said Pooh. Isn't that you, Rabbit? No, said the voice. He stuck his head to think of it, said Pooh. He settled down to a large small helping of honey and condensed milk. For a long time, Pooh ate and ate and ate. I shall go and fetch Christopher Robin, said Rabbit, dashing out the back door. Don't go anywhere. Excavation expert at your service. Gopher strutted around, Pooh poking and prodding, and Eeyore and Rabbit appeared over the hill. They started pulling and pulling. There's only one thing to do, said Christopher. Light fell and rain fell. And when Pooh got Rabbit and others said, when Pooh got wet, Rabbit and others had to rain him out. They sang and sustaining songs and tried to cheer him up. And Pooh tried not to think of eating. Then they all went home and Pooh was lunchbox. What's in the box? Said Pooh, expecting something. Let me see, said Gopher busily. There's a little coin at once, said Rabbit, snatching away the jar. Not one drop. But Rabbit, always going to eat it, said Pooh.
Lay down the donkey.
Alright, the song they're going. Mabel was a donkey. She was little. She was cute. Mabel, sometimes she kicked up her heels. Then the straw hat. She had a cart too. It was a yellow cart. It had 2 wheels. Mabel loved it. Then pop, pop, on she went. Whoa, said Ben. Something. Pop, 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 pop. To the little feet. Ben looked at She looked at Ben. She looked at the pretty, pretty hat. Then Ben said, "Giddy up, Mabel, giddy up." Pop, 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 pop. Went Mabel's pretty little feet. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle went the little bell. Away went Mabel in the pretty hat. Away went the yellow little cart. Away went Ben. Mabel loved it.
Quote followed, "Are You My Mother" by P.D. Easton. A mother bird sat on her egg. The egg jumped. Out came the baby bird. "Where's my mother?" he said. He looked for her. He looked up. He did not see her. He looked down. He did not see her. It was a long way down. The baby bird could not fly. He could not fly. Kitten, "Are you my mother?" The hen was not his mother. So the baby bird went on. I have to find my mother, he said, "but where? Where is she? I am not your mother. I am a dog," said the dog went on. Now he came to a cow. "Are you my mother?" he said to the cow. "How could I be your mother?" said the cow. "I'm a cow." The kitten and the hen were not his mother. The dog and the cow were not his mother. Did he have a mother? "I did have a mother," said the baby bird. He called to the boat, but the boat did not stop. The boat went on. He looked. The baby bird saw a big thing. This must be his mother. "There she is," he said. "How you are not my mother. Oh, you are not my mother," said the baby.
And I admit that it was a little bit double standard at first, but then I didn't know what to expect. And then after a while, I realized that after she got in shape, she could put up with all the punishment that the other boys were taking, as well as learn to dish it out.
You're wrestling against a guy, do they want to wrestle harder, or do they take it easier on you because they don't want to hurt you?
Well, I think they might tend to wrestle a little bit harder so they won't have to go through all the suffering of everybody teasing them and making fun of him because he lost to a girl. And just having the thought that a girl beating might put him through a lot of pressure.